Hi, babes. Welcome back to the Chase Life with Kelly show. I'm your host, Kelly Chase. We are diving into the gray area, what that means, and why you deserve better. Maybe that gives you a little clue or a hint as to what the gray area is. But backstory on that, why I wanted to record an episode about this is because I just experienced my own situationship, shall we call it? Where that's exactly what it is. A situationship is where you are entertaining the gray area, the space in between, the what are we? There's no commitment. One person may want a commitment, the other person isn't there yet. So they're not prioritizing you, they are not showing up for you the way that you need them to. They're not giving you exactly what you deserve and what you know you want too. Um, you know, I sat with this for a long time, meaning I sat with because I felt shame. I felt ashamed. I felt guilty. I felt embarrassed because I've done so much inner work. As you guys know, like I talk about it all the time here on the podcast. And I felt like a hypocrite because I'm like out here, preaching all this self-love stuff and healing and all that. And I'm so glad that I continued with all of that work, because although I was doing that work, or let's put it this way, although I was in this situationship, the healing tools, techniques, modalities, therapy sessions, mindset work that I've done, personal development, just self-care practices, all of that helped me be okay with that situationship for a while. And I know that kind of sounds weird, but like, had this been a year ago or 2 years ago, it was driven by lust. The situation was driven by lust. So now when I have been entertaining the situation, I was more removed. Like my feelings weren't as involved. Like I was like, I can do this, like maybe I'm not exactly, and you know what, honestly, at the bottom line is I was probably making more excuses, and then that was allowing my mindset to be okay with what was happening versus me being like, fuck this isn't what I want, that I know this isn't what I deserve, and this guy needs to shit or get off the pot. Like maybe he needs me to walk away so that he could do his healing work and or realize what he's missing or realize what he's lost. But at the end of the day, I was able to take an aerial view of, like, I literally took a step back and was like, but wait, is this actually what I want? Do our core values align? Are we on a very similar trajectory in life? Do we want the same goals? Do we want the same things? Ultimately, yeah. We want to be, we both want to be in love. We want to be parents. We want to have, we want to get married at some point. We want to have children. But like everything else, I'm very social. I'm very public with my life. Obviously, I was on a TV show and I'm still here. I have a podcast. I do speaking events. I show up on social media all the time. Like I'm very public, and this person was not. And that's okay. There are so many relationships that work like that. And not to say ours wouldn't, but like nothing was telling me that it would, based on the fact that the guy was like, I'm just like not ready to commit to you like that. Like I can't. And I'm like, well, what are you doing then? Like we can't do this. And I'm not putting blame on him. And I'm not like, I have so much love and care for this person. So there's no blame. I don't want this to come across as I'm blaming him for anything and this was all on him or anything like that. Like this was totally, I'm raising my hand. I take accountability. I take responsibility. This was a lot on me too. I was allowing this. So the only person that I can blame and ever get frustrated with is myself. I can't get, like, sure, I may get frustrated with him, but like I'm getting frustrated with myself in the, what does that say when you like point a finger, like look at the fingers pointing back at you? That's it. So if you're in a situationship or you're in you're dating someone, it just doesn't feel as committed, or it doesn't feel like maybe it is a committed relationship, but you recognize that maybe it's not really what you're wanting. Maybe like you feel like you're not emotionally safe with the person, you can't really open up to them, you can't be very vulnerable, or maybe you can be all of those things, but they're not reciprocating equally. I feel like that was something that I was experiencing. Like I wanted to dive deeper, I wanted to have more evolved, deeper conversations, but I was holding back sometimes. One, because I was like, well, he doesn't want a like committed relationship right now. So it's almost like I don't want to get deep with him. I don't want to, or I don't need to get deep with him because we're not together. So like, but so I was like suppressing myself. And then, but that's just it. It's like I was matching the vibration of what it was versus being who I am and trying to have these very deep, vulnerable, loving conversations. And there were times when I wanted to talk about us, and although we would, but at some point he would like turn off and be like, okay, we're kind of done. Like, we don't need to sit here and talk about, we don't need to have the serious conversations. And I get it. Like, I understand in the sense of like, he has already expressed to me, it can't give you what you want, period. Like, period, end of the story. That's where we just need to draw the line, put the period, the exclamation point, end the sentence. And, but it's like maybe I was like, like trying to explain where I was at, trying to get something out of him to make me feel better about the situation. I don't know. But I do believe that it was a great experience for me, because I learned a lot of lessons and I learned a lot of gifts, and I honestly feel like extremely empowered that I'm walking away from it. And this person will probably always be a part of my life. Like I've known them for a while. But I just can't do it anymore. I just can't, when I'm with this person, there are times that I feel like so good and so connected. We do have evolved conversation, and or we we'll just have a really good time together. Intimacy, romantic intimacy is great. It's really great. And part of me is like, I don't want to walk away because of that. Because he's very loving, very compassionate person. But on the other hand, I would leave feeling a bit depleted and disappointed. And I don't want that. And sure, could I probably have been a little bit more vocal sometimes to communicate certain things? Sure, but it's like I have, and nothing has really, some things have improved, some things have gotten better, but like at the end of the day, it's not what I want. Period. End of the story. It's just not what I want. I don't want a gray area. I don't want to be someone's options. Or someone's option. I don't want to be the escape for someone to not do their inner healing work. Like in my heart of hearts, I'm like, okay, this person wants to be married one day. They want to start a family one day. They want to they have these dreams and aspirations. But like, what are they doing towards it? Like, are you working on yourself? Yes, in the sense of physical, I do believe this person works on themselves. They are extremely motivated and disciplined, physical health and all of that. And they do challenge themselves mentally, but I don't know. And again, maybe it's just it will be a conversation, but it's like I've had so many experiences that I'm like, I shouldn't feel this way. I shouldn't even feel this way. I shouldn't even feel like I have to ask for this. I shouldn't feel, and maybe this is women, which I don't adhere to, but like maybe some of you will be like, well, just a controversial, unpopular opinion kind of thing. But like, maybe it's like, well, maybe we do have to communicate like every single need, want, everything. But then I go to like guy friends' houses and they do the thing without me fucking asking because they just know it's a gentleman thing to do and it's courteous and respectful and it's gentle, like chivalrous. And I'm like, why can't a guy that I'm fucking sleeping with do that? But I didn't ever want to come across as being like extremely critical or judgmental, because then I think that that's going against what I also believe in, where I want to communicate things from a place of heart space and encouraging behaviors versus being like, oh my God, you fucking like, you didn't do this and you didn't do that and blah, blah, blah. Like no one needs another mom, right? No one needs a second mother. And I don't ever want to have mother energy except for towards my children. My unborn children, my future children. So anyways, I'm sure there are certain things that I could communicate better, but I think this has run its course because this isn't the first time that we have ran this course. So, and they say, someone hurts you, like shame on them, 3 times shame on you kind of thing. Well, this is like a few times. But it's okay. Like I had to go through all of that. I had to go through every single thing that I have gone through in the last 5 years, 4 or 5 years. I have had to experience in order to become the person that I am today. So I encourage you to look at your life and assess, what is it about the guy that I'm dating, or the situationship that I'm involved in, or the marriage that I'm in, or the relationship that I'm in that I don't love? Audit it. Ask yourself, be really freaking honest with yourself and say, what do I not love about my relationship? And I don't say it like that to bring lack and negativity to your relationship. I just want you to bring awareness to something you don't love about it. How can you improve it? Is it a conversation that needs to be had? Have you had this conversation 10 times already? What can you do to make it better? Number one key thing that you can do to make any situation better is to fucking work on you. Work on you. That is what I have done these last 8 months that I've been in a situationship. When I feel that I am feeling a bit of abandoning myself and disconnecting from myself, because I have been here before. I have been leaning into working out. I've leaned into meditation. I've learned into like doing some breath work, listening to some more like empowering podcast, figuring out where I want my business stuff to go, figuring out my career, getting myself aligned financially. And I mean, you guys know that I'm going through Elizabeth Ralph's course, the Spiritual Investor Program. So I'm learning about investing, and I'm focused on myself, taking care of myself. And there were days where I'm like, wow, I haven't heard from the guy in a few days, and it's coming up a weekend's coming up and we have no plans, and there's a part of me that wanted to be like, well, fuck that. But then Friday night at 6:00 rolls around. Hey, what's up? What are you doing? Want to hang out? And I'm like, well, I don't have any plans. And I want to see the guy because I'm invested and I do care about him. But I want someone to text me on or call me on fucking Tuesday and be like, hey, what are your plans this weekend? I would love to take you out. I would love to see you. That's the energy. That's the vibe I am desiring. And I know that that is out there because I've been in those situations too before. Those relationships didn't work out for whatever reason, but don't ever settle, ladies. Don't entertain the gray area. And you can say, well, I'm kind of like acting like a guy right now. I feel like I'm in this empowered, badass energy because I don't want a boyfriend, but I also like to, being intimate. And sometimes I just want to cuddle with someone. That's okay. You know what? If you're aware of what you're doing, fine. If you don't have any feelings involved, fine. But as soon as you start to get those feelings involved, it is a red flag, get out, especially if that person does not reciprocate those feelings towards you and does not want to choose you fully. You deserve to be chosen 100%. I deserve to be chosen fully and completely and wholly 110%. We all deserve that. This guy deserves that. This guy deserves someone that is going to align where he's at and align with what he wants in life and his goals and his aspirations and all of that. And not to say that I'm not that person, but I'm not that person right now based on the reality of our current status and situation, basically. I don't know. It's sometimes I would try and, hey, what are your core values? What are you really wanting? What's your dream job? All this stuff. And I'm a very optimistic person too. So I just feel that when someone says something or they're very short with their responses, it's I feel like I'm pulling teeth, and I don't want to feel like I'm pulling teeth. I want to just have this very natural, casual conversation. And I used to be able to have that with this person. In some topics, we do have those types of conversations. And you might be thinking, well, Kelly, it's not all bells and whistles all the time and rainbows and butterflies. It's not. But I want someone to empower me. I want someone to challenge me in all areas of my life. And I just haven't felt that way. So why keep entertaining this gray area if it's not serving me fully. So I want y'all to ask yourselves that, is what I am in serving me? And if it's not, start focusing on you a little bit more, even like just tune into yourself more and more and more, so that the gray area gets crowded out and it's completely black and white. I love myself and I choose this. I will not entertain, I will not accept, I will not allow any low accountability behaviors into my life, because it is so black and white how fucking much I love myself and what I want in my life, what I desire, what I know I need, my values, everything. And it has just become more clear and more clear and more clear, black and white for me, that what I want is out there. And right now, it is not with this person right now. Maybe in 10 years, who knows? Maybe never, you know? But I'm not going to hold on to any hope, because I am just done. I'm done entertaining that. I'm done entertaining someone who doesn't want to prioritize me. And I really want you all to do the same, because you do deserve it. You are so worthy. And I will say this, like, it was extremely embarrassing I know I mentioned that before, but like, I didn't tell some of my best friends about this situationship until a few months into it, because I was embarrassed. Again, like I said, I was embarrassed. I felt a lot of guilt. I felt a lot of shame, because it is someone that I've, experienced romance with before. And it didn't turn out so great the last time. And they're like, Kelly, oh my God. Like, the last thing I want to hear anyone say, and although they weren't saying it out loud, the thing that I'm like thinking they're going to think is, what is wrong with her? Why does she keep doing this? She's done all this work. She's done all this healing work, and she keeps fucking going back to him. I can probably understand the frustration my friends were feeling, but that's exactly why I told them. I was like, you know what? At the end of the day, you guys will love me no matter what. So this is why I'm telling you, because I know, like, I get it. I'm giving it another chance, because it is feeling different. It is different. It was different. There was a little bit more, I guess, commitment to a degree. Not commitment fully, like exclusively, yada, 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 but there was a little bit more commitment. There was a little bit more him showing up. There was a little bit more improvement. And I was okay with that. But I did hate telling my friends about it, and even my parents. I remember telling my parents or my dad was probably on speakerphone with my mom, but they're like, what are you doing tonight? I'm like, oh, going to dinner with so-and-so. And they're like, huh? And I was like, oh yeah, we talked. We've been talking. We've been seeing each other. And they're like, oh, really? Well, we just don't want you to get hurt again. And that was everyone's response. We just don't want you to get hurt again. We just want you to be happy, Kelly. So if he's making you happy, then great. But we just don't want him to hurt you again. And my evolved, mature response to all of that, though, is I'm not taking full responsibility. It takes two to tango, right? But like anything in the past, and I'm sharing this with you guys because I want you to take accountability and responsibility too for your relationship outcomes and the behaviors that are going on. Like key, like I said before, you have to fucking focus on yourself. You have to focus on self-love. You are driving the ship. Ball is in your court no matter what. As soon as that ball gets out of your court and goes into his hands, you have abandoned yourself. You have disconnected from self, and you are losing yourself in someone self-abandoning. And that is like such an icky feeling for your inner child, to feel abandoned. Just think about it. Like, if you have mommy, daddy, like abandonment wounds, ding, 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 you're doing it. You're literally doing it to your inner child. So I go on a rant about this. But with all that, with the responsibility and the accountability, like I said, it takes two to tango. So me recognizing like, oh, I don't want him to hurt you. The fact of the matter is I was allowing certain behaviors to continue. So I was hurting myself. So who do I need to forgive? Me. I got to forgive myself. And I have. Like, I feel so fucking good. I really do. Yeah, I've probably shed some tears around this because I love this person, right? Like I have so much love and care for this person, and I see so much potential in him. I see so much potential in us. But at the end of the day, the reality is, and that is what we have to focus on. What is the reality? Because if you're stuck in the future, in the potential, you're continuing to lose yourself. You're continuing to be out of body. You're continuing to be disconnected and self-abandoning because it's actually not the reality of what is. So the reality of what is, that's what we need to pay attention to. What is the reality? So take a step back, aerial view down on your life. What is the reality of my relationship with this person? And see how you can, what steps do you need to take in order to make improvements and make some changes in your life? Let's get out of the gray area, ladies or guys, whoever's listening. Get out of the gray area. You deserve better. We love you guys so much. Please remember to rate, review, share this with a friend, a neighbor, a stranger, whoever. Let's help grow the Chase Life with Kelly podcast. And also a lot of the teachings, well, I don't ever want to sound like you're hypocrites, so let's put it this way. A lot of the teachings, what I just talked about, like, don't lower your vibrational frequency. You got to stay on a higher vibrational frequency. You taking accountability, responsibility, you shifting your energetic, you having the awareness to take the steps that you need in order to create a better outcome for yourself. Focusing on you, self-love, self-care, all of that. Subconscious reprogramming, inner child work, all of that is in my Goddess Magic program. And literally, if you are feeling like stuck, you're feeling resistance, you're feeling lacking in any area of your life, like this program is for you. It's a digital course. You go through it at your own pace on your own time. But it's a lot of the teachings that I have, just gained the knowledge of from other mentors of mine to personal individual experiences of mine. And it's bottled up into this program. It's like 15 modules or even maybe a little bit few more. But if you're ready to change your life, this is it. Like if you want to transform your relationship with love, success, and money, which is going to help you become the person that you need to become in order to make decisions like this and take accountability and responsibility and not sit in a lack mindset anymore or not sit in this victim mindset anymore. This is the program for you. So hope you will check out Goddess Magic. It is linked in the show notes. And like I said, make sure that you share this episode if you really loved it. Rate, review, comments, all the things. Would love that. And check it out on YouTube too if you want to watch the video version. But I love you guys. Thank you for continuously supporting. I'm sure that there was a lot more of that, lots of other details regarding this situation that I have just ended. But maybe another time. Anyways, with all that being said, again, I have so much love and care for this person. So this is not something to bash him. It is just me telling my truth. And I think that many of you can resonate and maybe need to hear it. So again, no more gray area. You deserve better. Thanks again. Love you guys. Bye.